This is a Neurographica tutorial. My name is Carmen, and today I want to create a drawing with you in which you can explore and create your business growth for the upcoming 9 months. We use a marker as a tool. In Neurographica, we don't need any artistic skills. In this drawing, we are using circles and lines. You can do that. This is a tutorial in which I will guide you step by step. And Neurographica is a powerful structured drawing method to access our subconsciousness, to activate necessary resources there, and also to farewell like stored blockages in there by drawing. And we are following a certain sequence of steps. So to make this drawing work and to create a sustainable map for your mind to reorient on from today onwards, please follow all the steps. I'm showing all the steps until the drawing is completed to ensure you sustainable results. So today I want to use the algorithm for STRATA, and they are based on 4 qualities of life. One of the qualities is recognition. One of the qualities is finances. One is education, and one is influence. And we want to explore and also modify according to our own necessities at the moment. We want to modify these 4 stratas in relation to our topic, to our business. It can also be any other personal project you have right now, which will be ongoing. So this is what we do. We need a marker, maybe 2 or 3 markers of different thicknesses, a very thin one, a middle thick one, and maybe a very thick one. Would be excellent to have. We also need colors. That can be pencils or highlighters or both. And if you find these drawing tutorials, which I'm providing for you on my channel, if you find them helpful, you can help me as well by clicking on the like button and like the videos, and also by sharing the videos to friends who you maybe think they could profit from these drawing experiences as well. So in this way we can make this knowledge available to as many people as possible. Of course, you're also invited to subscribe to my channel. And if you have already subscribed, I want to thank you for subscribing. It's very nice to see that people enjoy my offer in this channel. Now we will dive into drawing, and you need a big paper today. Mine is A3 because we are going to draw a lot on it. So grab your marker and follow along with your own experiences. Like I am sharing my drawing and my thoughts and my process as an example for you. But obviously, it only makes sense for you to draw your own processes. So you can now decide, do you want to draw on the topic of your business? Do you have a business, or do you want to develop it? Or do you want to draw on some other personal project you're working on? That can be anything that is important for you at this moment. Please decide on the topic, because the topic that is most important to you at this moment will provide the greatest results, because it is dear to your heart and you want to do something about it. So I want to do something about my business concerning these 4 qualities of life: recognition, finances, education, and influence. So let's see how that works. The first thing we do is we write down our topic. So I write down my business. And now we take 2 minutes to write down associations on that topic. We don't think, we just activate the topic by writing down everything that comes into our mind right now. Let's start. Okay, now you look at your words. See what they do with you. How do you feel with them? And also see like how you react on these words. And with this activation of your topic, you take a very thin marker now. And we draw a line, a thin line on the left side of our paper. And we draw a second line, maybe around 1/4 of the paper, which is representing now. So we can write down the date of today, write down today's date. And then this is our time. This is today. And we want to draw our project in the next 9 months. So this will be, we will write the date in 9 months. And then we divide this time in 3 parts. 3 months, 3 months, 3 months. And we'll have also some lines here. Those lines are kind of assisting lines. We don't do anything much with them, but they show us where to draw and how to expand or not. So then we mark the date in 3 months. And in 6 months. So that's for our brain to know that something is happening in the future. And next we'll take the same thin one, and we need 4 lines that go up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And these are our stratas. We want to work on. They stand for, and write that here just to remember: recognition, finances, education, and influence. This is the influence we perceive on the topic at the moment, the education we have or don't have, finances we have or don't have, and the recognition: do people see us or not? Yeah, and actually we need to maybe start from the, or don't we? Do we need to start from the bottom? I don't think so. Yeah, we will just make the whole strata visible, because we start in this drawing, we start with the past. So all of this, which is be underneath today's line here, is the past. Before today. We can make that today line a little bit visible. This is basically the structure for our drawing that we need. So, and now we start to think of recognition, our recognition in relation to our topic. So in my case, my recognition in relation to my business in the past. First, I define a circle in the past for my recognition, like the size. So my recognition of my business in the past is, let's say, this size. And I give it like a kind of percentage. So it feels like my recognition for my business is about 5% actually. Although it's quite big, but it feels like 5% from what it could be. And then I go to today and feel like, what is the recognition today of my business? And it's, I don't know, it feels very invisible for myself, so I make it smaller even than in the past. At the moment I can't see my business very well, my own recognition, and people also don't see it very well, so I put maybe 2% of recognition, of being seen. And then I feel, how much do I want my recognition to grow in the next 9 months? And that's why we have these lines here. Actually, there needs to be one more line up here for the like period of 9 months up here. So, and I define now my recognition in 3 months. So I want my recognition in 3 months to be bigger, but I want it in 6 months to be bigger, and I want it in 9 months to be that big. And that's how we show our mind that we are ready to grow. So I'm drawing a line here to make that visible, how big I want it. And then I define how I want to grow it to 75%. That's how it feels. So here it is maybe 25, 50, and yeah. And what we do, or maybe we do that in the next step. We do the activation in the next step. Now we'll take the finances. In regard to my business, the finances of the past, I define a circle and I define my finances about, let's say, 10%. And at the moment, my finances are zero. And I want my finances to be, I want them to grow, obviously. And I want them to grow up like to this size, which will be 100%. I want my business to be sustainable. I'll have 80% here in July, and I'll have, let's say in 3 months time, I want to have about, I want to have 60% already. At least. Yeah. So I wanted to grow to there. My education, I do the same. So my education is big. I have a lot of education and I make that visible. My education is 100%. In the past. And it's also smaller, I realize, because it's 100% in content, in terms of the content, but it's not 100% in many things I need to learn, if I want to take that into account. So at this moment, I make it, let's say, in relation to my business. Difficult to say because there will be lots of new learnings all the time. So let me call it 30%. And I make this, like in the past, I make it smaller. I make it, let's say, it's difficult because they are so different, depends on what I want to emphasize. So let's say this is what I want to know about my business. This was about 5%. And there is also 100% of knowledge I have. So I leave both circles there because different aspects. And in education and my business, I will grow, but not too much, because I want to use what I have at the moment. So I might want to grow it to 50%. At this moment, I don't want to focus on new knowledge. I want to focus on what already is there and also acknowledge that something is there already. So my influence in the past on my business is, my influence is big because I'm creating that. So let's say my influence in the past on my business, 80%. So it needs to be bigger. And my business, my influence at this moment is also big because I'm doing it. So I'm doing it. And I want to continue doing it. So my influence is, it's difficult to say. Let's say at this moment my influence is smaller because I didn't do that much. I was at 80, now I am maybe 40, and I want to come to, let's say, Influence on my business. Yeah, I can have 100% influence on my business, can't I? It's my business. So 100%. I am creating that, so it is my business. So, and you do the same thing for your stratas. So what I do now is I will go and create these areas of my business to my mind. I will make it visible to my mind. So what I do now is I start with my recognition in the past with these 5% I had and draw lines, activate this resource of the past. I draw lines there and feel as how the energy is like adding in myself, and I go this has led to the amount of recognition right now, my past. So this is the state at the moment. What is there? My 2% of recognition. And since I want to grow it to 75%, I do the activation again. And then I draw it here, and I draw neural lines. As always in Neurographica, we draw lines that are not straight. We follow this line, but we make it go a little bit left, a little bit right. We let it flow organically in this direction. We don't create straight lines. These straight lines were only like for the construction of the drawing and definition of the sizes. But now we are going to use the neural lines only. And we also do what we always do. We do the connection of the intersections. So here I want you to make it a single system. I create the connections between these lines and the circles I drew, and I make it visible for my brain. And then I can go up and create more lines, neural lines that flow within these defined boundaries. This is the now boundary, and this is the growth, what is becoming visible to my mind. So, and I'm drawing more neural lines that flow upwards and make this recognition more recognizable for my brain. There will be more recognition in the next 9 months. A lot of expansion that will mean more people are going to see what I'm doing. I will be more brave to show myself, to find ways to make my business be seen. And we are drawing these lines, feeling into what is happening in our body. Take some releasing breaths. So I'm going until like I'm staying in this defined boundary, because this is what I want to make visible. We work on rounding, creating smooth intersections of my lines. So we create the whole drawing out of lines and also circles. We will be thinking of events we want to see in this upcoming 3 months in relation to our recognition of our businesses. Obviously, there should be something that makes my business visible. So I want one event here, and I draw a circle representing that event. You can name that event, or you can also trust in your brain, universe, better maybe trust in universal love and wisdom to show you what these events stand for. So I want 2 events in the next 3 months, and in this time span, I feel like I want to have a bigger one here, event. And yeah, I think recognition requires events. I want event here and one here. And I see that there will be something big here. So this circle just doesn't fit. So you add circles according to your intuition. And sometimes you might know what these circles stand for. I'm using a little bit bigger pen now to make these circles more visible, and with every circle and with every line we draw around these circles, we make our brain aware of something is going on. Something is going on and preparing for these events of recognition of my business in the next 9 months. And it doesn't have to be on the conscious level that you're literally planning that I'll have this and that conference, or I will have this and that action. You can do that if you know. If you don't know, you trust in your intuition and put shapes of events like these circles wherever they feel right at the moment. And then, as you see, I'm doing the rounding because I want my brain to have this as a map to orientate on. It always depends. Like if I orientate my brain on nothing specific, concerning my business, it will be difficult for my brain to know that there's something to do and to find the right action steps as well. To be open to intuition, to life's messages. So that's what we do here. We create openness to listen, to perceiving life's messages, what is to be done. So for me, the whole thing feels a little bit unperceptible, like it feels a little bit far, it feels like unreal. Although I already founded my business in last summer and already work as well, still it feels as if it's not very tangible, yes. So that's probably why I want to draw this drawing. Recognition. There's also this voice in my head that is not quite sure whether it wants to be recognized and seen. The old voice that has doubts whether there is anything I could share or give, doubting that. So I can also create the connections between these events. The more connections we create, the better to understand for ourselves, for our subconsciousness. It's not only the brain that we are reorientating, the whole subconscious is supporting us. All the memories, all the wisdom that we have acquired and during our lifetime and lifetimes, and also collective memories, collective wisdom, everything can be and is accessed by drawing these drawings following the Neurographica method. So now I have a new image here for recognition. How is it going for you? How does it feel? How does your body react on all that? Your body doesn't necessarily find it easy to create change. So we do the same thing now with the finances, or at least I do it now. If you're not ready, you can finish that first. And whenever you're ready, you go to this strata of the finances and activate the resource in the past, however big it is, can be small as you see. Activate that resource by drawing lines and then going up where it is, like to what it is has led today. So this is the finances at the moment, which I defined with 0, but 0 is quite difficult to draw, so I have a little bit to be seen. And then I go and activate it again, like the resources of the past, and go up my new defined boundary, which will lead myself to sustain myself from my own business 100% in the next 9 months. So this is here. And it's natural that it is overlapping with recognition and education. And I always make sure that I'm using neurolines. Now I also draw more lines, neurolines, to activate this space here. And I'm always drawing from down, from the past through the present, and also moving up to the future. And I draw and activate with neurolines as long as it feels enough. Not until it feels enough. I do it as long as needed. It feels like lots of activation is needed here. So I draw more lines, and they are not enough yet. My business can sustain my living. This is what I'm drawing here. And I also draw the intersections to make it clear. And I go along these lines. I actually draw from down, from bottom up. We're not going back in time, we're going up into the future here. So financial events. Yeah, I'm going to draw financial events in a moment. What can that be for my business? I think that can be people who want to accept my offers. People who are willing to draw themselves free and want to accept my guidance. So I want customers. And I also want to create new offers. Regional offers. I want people online because maybe people are not where I am, but I also want some regional offers. So I'm creating events now concerning my finances, and I'm creating circles representing the events and my finances. And then I'm going to make it more visible here activate the events by going over the lines again. Basically, these events are customers who accept my offers and who want to work with me online and offline. And at the moment, I'm maybe not aware of what interesting events will be coming up as well, because I want to open up for new insights as well, and new, like, I want to listen to this intuition. Where is it guiding me? I don't want to plan everything by myself, because my ability to envision what is going to be the right thing is limited. So this drawing is very complex, and it can take some time to complete. So don't rush. It can take much more time. I am not doing all of the rounding in this moment because I feel I want to activate the education and influence as well, and then I will go to do the final work. So in connection to my business, I activate these 5% of my knowledge, which has led to the 30% that are here at the moment. So it had already expanded a lot. Because I also have this knowledge which is much bigger. Maybe this is the concrete knowledge about how to run a business, and this big one is like all the life's learnings that I already had acquired all my life. And this is also like helping me to know everything I need to know for my business. So all my life's education is flowing into my business. And I'm not expanding it too much because I feel that I want to value like the resources that I already have and the knowledge, the wisdom that it's already there. And of course, there's also new things to learn. Still, always, especially in concern of in connection to the business. I don't want to overemphasize on I have to learn to grow my business. I want to focus on I have a lot of resources that are here that I can use here and now, and they are already strong. That's nice to see. It feels good to see strong resources here. can use what I have already learned. It's already here. I don't need to expand that very much. Maybe if that is 100%, then it's actually 80% already there. Which implies that I can still learn more, obviously, but a lot is already there. That feels actually quite good, relieving. Something is already there. Can trust in that. I see it here, so it's quite helpful to make me aware of that. I have resources. I have a lot of education, and education is not only like the time you spend in schools. It's all your life's learnings, experiences, everything you have learned in your life. It's not limited to academic learning, not at all. Academic learning is part of it, but it's not the only source of learning, obviously. So there's already an event in my education which I drew in the finances. What's interesting? Something to learn here, maybe, or maybe to create an offer, educational offer. Can also be to provide education, maybe. That's an interesting thought. So this can be providing education. For example, these videos provide education for you to learn how you can draw, to program your mind in the desired way. So this is any way learning. So I make a big one here for I provide education. And as it is here, some part of this circle is already in the presence, is here, but a lot is something new. So this aspect of providing education is quite new in this algorithm for me. I had understood the education before more like my resources, but obviously it is also connected to, it can be connected to providing education, which is actually what I am also passionate about, because I don't want to like tell people how they should develop or whatever, but to enable to use tools to help yourself. That's actually what my passion is about. Provide tools. And one excellent tool is this drawing. And yes, I have offers which you can check out right now, but obviously there will be more, as we see here. There are offers here. I put an offer here in the presence for the recognition. Yes, there are offers. They can be found. And yes, there is the possibility to earn money right away. Education. And for some reason I feel that this is enough event in this area. So I don't put any more in the moment, but I have added something here. So I want to do the rounding. I've added my offers which are already available, ready for use today. So why not attract people who want to profit from my offers right away? Yes, right away. Check them out. And also payment method is available right away. Yeah, yesterday I had seen some interesting rooms which I was tempted to rent. So maybe this can be somewhere here as well. A place to meet people and to work together. I create a shape for a place. And whenever I add a shape, I need to make sure that I integrate. All the intersections will be rounded. As careful as possible. So you can always add something or expand, like this, expand it, because I have this insight what I need here in my recognition. So now the influence. The influence, my influence in the past on my business. So I influence my business in the past, in the present. Oh no, in the present is smaller here. Some winter time, energy, concentration I perceive, but that doesn't mean that nothing is happening. So we go up on the present size and then we go to where we want to see our influence. I want to see my influence in my business 100%. And I see that there's already a lot of resource. There's a lot has been going on in the past. And I also understand that all the things that have been going on in the past are connected to all the education, to all the learning, and that's available right away to be active in my business and influence whatever is going on to 100%. That's where I defined my 100% boundary. I'm sure there's lots of questions you can have on this. So please don't hesitate to ask your questions in the comments. I'm most happy to give you more information because I'm aware that this is an advanced, complicated algorithm. I wanted to share that with you, nevertheless, to make you aware of what you can do with Neurographica and how you can influence your own future by drawing. That's why I'm showing you that. I'm aware of that it might be difficult to draw that completely as a beginner, but I'm also aware that not every one of you is a beginner, so we are all experts in our own lives, and you might have also already drawn Neurographica with me or with someone else, so you can do it. So my influence, I like to see that because my influence is maybe this is like it is, but this is also like how it is possible because I have a lot of resources. I do influence my business with daily actions, with making myself open to my intuition, to listen, to also listen to people, what they need. So one very big part for my influence is listening, in my opinion. Listening to where and how are my skills needed. And providing offers accordingly. So I want to add an offer here. Something new. Yes, and so it's also influence is growing, visibility is growing, influence is growing by me using my resources and by listening. Yeah, here's more visibility, more influence. So my brain is now aware that there's a lot going on in my business, and it can better start listening to the language of life right away. So I will be taking some time now to do the integration work. Whenever I feel I want more lines, I can add them, and you as well. What I want to do now is I want to make the new outlines visible. That is the past, that was the present, and this is actually going this way from now. And this was going from here, and where's my 100% going? Here. Going up here. So I want my boundaries nicely visible. That's what I do here at the moment. These are my boundaries. Believe me, we can work on one of these drawings for sessions that will take maybe 3 or 4 times 2.5 hours easily, because a lot is included in these drawings. So, and my education goes from here. And this is my finances. They go here. And this is the recognition that grows over here. So there's a necessity to integrate this very big circle, which appeared while I was drawing on my influence. My influence influenced my recognition. And this is how it goes. Everything influences each other nicely. And if we are aware or not, we are creating our reality anyway. If we tell ourselves that we are not able, that we are too small, that we cannot, that we won't find any customers, nobody wants to hear what we have to say, or we even think that we don't have to say anything, then we are also spreading this information into the world, into our own lives, by thinking that. We are also creating this kind of reality. So it's very important to be aware of what we are creating all the time, because we are creating all the time. So now we are creating our plan. I like to create the plans open like that, open to be filled by wisdom that is higher than my mind can think of in any way. So we do the rounding and have in mind that you want to create one single drawing, one single system. We don't leave single parts. We don't leave circles that are not integrated, because that will spoil the energies. We want all the energies, all the events, all the new things to actually appear. So we make them visible by rounding carefully as well. It's very important to also feel into that drawing. What happens inside of you while you're doing that? Do you feel resistance? Do you feel your chest might be widening and being excited? Or do you feel like lots of doubts and lots of inner dialogue? Notice what's going on while you do the drawing. So for the results to appear, one of the most important steps is this rounding. Of course, to create the shapes is important, but also to make them part of this system. Take this time to do it. It's okay if you want to have a break, you can stop the video, go for a walk, do some exercises, Close your eyes for a moment. Write down whatever comes into your mind, what new ideas come, and also your resistance. Write down how your body reacts. Are you kind to yourself? Do you go from where you are? Or are you already 5 steps ahead? Do you treat yourself in the same way as you treat your friend? Or are you mean to yourself where you wouldn't be to anyone else? That's a good chance to observe while drawing what is coming up and how you react to your own states, for example. Are you judgmental with yourself? Or can you be kind? Can you be patient? Can you be friendly? Can you give yourself the time you need for your development and also your business, for growing your business? Is it okay for you that it takes its time? Also to grow the inner vision that you can do it and want to do it, to overcome past ideas of you're too small and too weak and not able. Can you be kind to yourself? Kindness to myself is for myself often still challenging. And being aware of that is the first step to also overcome that. This is the end of the first part. We finished the composition. It is a very complex algorithm. That's why I divide this tutorial in 2 parts. Take a good break now. Let all your created changes be integrated in your system, in your body, and start with the second part of this tutorial whenever you feel ready for that. I invite you to subscribe to my channel if you like this content, and also to press the like button of this video. That helps people to find my channel and to also get the chance to draw themselves free using Neurographica as a tool. This invaluable, sustainable tool should be shared as much as possible. We are able, we are in charge, we can create our own desired future, and reality now by using a marker and some colors. So let's bring that information into the world. Please check out my guided healing sessions as well. We can work one-on-one together if you want guidance in your own personal development. See you in the next part of this video and have a good life.